the idea of the Peace Patch came from several different places. First of all, my kids go to school here, and so I noticed that there was this very large schoolyard. They'd learned that I had grown up on a sustainable farm, and I knew something about growing food, so they wanted to engage that expertise if they could. So, the timing was perfect. I had a group of students. I put them in a class, our January class, our winter term, and they came out here and they spent 3 weeks building, digging up the soil, building the beds, putting the soil in place, and starting the garden.
I'm Alina Thompson. I'm one of the student coordinators here at the Edible Peace Patch. I started working this semester. I met Curtis last year. Actually, he was a professor of mine, and I wanted to get involved with this. I worked with some kind of similar program this summer, so I wanted to do something here in St. Pete that was similar.
My name's Katie Schaefer. I have been volunteering just for the past semester, so about 10 weeks, 11 weeks now.
One of the things we discovered is that a lot of the kids here in the African American community know a lot about food. Their grandmothers grow food, their mothers grow food, so they've been teaching our students about the value and the knowledge about that. They'll sometimes know more about the plants than my students will. They're also beginning to make peer contacts with college students, and this is an at-risk population, and there's some concern, particularly that the boys won't make it through middle school or through high school, and some of them are beginning to see, well, there's this college here, and college is something that's really made perhaps worthwhile. The rest of the community has been incredibly supportive to the extent that they've shown up. So we have people coming by, walking down the street and coming by on the fence and asking what's up and commending us for doing this kind of work. Everybody who stops will end up by saying, well, this is wonderful what you're doing. They'll watch the garden grow. We didn't intend it as a community building effort. We intended it as an educational effort, but it has become really a very strong community building effort. Because of the way funding works at Eckerd College, there was some concern that this wasn't an educational project, and they're very strict about a very tight budget. But we were able to sort of push through that by getting donations from other folks. And then in the long run, we were able to get sponsored by a sorority here in the community that saw a real value in what we're doing with the kids. And so we're right now on a 4-year grant, small amount of money, but enough to get us seeds and tools and to pay for part of our harvest festival. We've got green peppers, we've got at the end of our garden here, we've got corn and beans and squash going. We've actually got some kids coming out right now to plant some pumpkins that they've grown in their classroom. We have black-eyed peas, we have collard greens, we have tomatoes, several different varieties of tomatoes, okra, a little bit of permaculture, pineapple and papaya. We've got leafy lettuce, we've got kale, spices like basil and cilantro, sweet potato, which just keeps coming back. There's a great climate for sweet potato, broccoli, I'm sure there's others as well, but it's a full, well-rounded vegetable garden. Well, this is something that ought to be in every school in Pinellas County, and so we're going to move in the next year or so to try to build a larger organization that takes what we've learned here. We've developed a curriculum for elementary school science based in the garden. We've developed a garden model. We kind of know what we're doing at this point. We've got a compost, so it's a closed circle. We'd like to take this model and have the funding to be able to deliver it to any elementary school in the county that wants to have it, and staff it with students who will be able to teach the elementary school kids. So over the long run, I think that this should be in every school. I think this kind of learning is vital. I think people have lost touch with food and their food connections. And what we've figured out how to do is to deal with the fact that these are educational places, so you need to be mindful of learning what it is they expect them to learn. And we've got that figured out for elementary. As much as you need to think about nurturing your plants and cultivating and weeding so that your plants grow well, you need to nurture and cultivate that community. And so you want to create not just a garden, but a set of activities around the garden that are going to keep people actively engaged. And that active engagement is what builds that community and nurtures the social connections that come out there. And that's the small little bit that we've done here, and it's coherent. It's almost taken on a life of its own in terms of coming back every single semester. The kids expect it now. My students expect it at Eckerd, and so it's not very difficult, but it takes a steady commitment. When you grow food in a community, you grow a community as well.